Make today iconic. What's up, guys? It's Upcome Sports, back with another realistic rebuild here on my channel. In this one, we're doing the Toronto Raptors. As you all probably know, Kawhi Leonard has been traded to the Raptors for DeMar DeRozan. Here are the objectives that we're going to try to complete. I am going to be assuming that Kawhi Leonard does not re-sign with the Raptors after the one-year deal. So we will have to probably go into a full rebuild and trade Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka. I'll try to keep Valanciunas though. Here are the settings I used. You guys can pause those if you'd like. Pretty much, there are some rules in free agency for Toronto and also making trades because superstars don't want to come to Toronto. It's just a fact. In history, no one has signed with Toronto on a huge deal except for DeMar DeRozan, but he was drafted to Toronto, so that makes sense. Pretty much, we're going to have to overpay people to come to Toronto, and trading will have to overpay as well, throwing in some extra stuff, or even trading people on one-year deals for like huge contracts, like $30 million contracts and all that. But here's the rotation. Let's see what happens in the first season. So Steph Curry wins MVP for the Warriors. He always does. Marvin Bagley, Rookie of the Year. Tyreke Evans, Sixth Man. Chris Dunn, Most Improved. And Steve Kerr, Coach of the Year. Let's see if anyone made it on the All-NBA team. Kawhi Leonard on the All-NBA second team. Pretty good stats from him. I assume he made a defensive team as well. But let's check if he did. Yep, all defensive second team as well. And we were the third seed, so pretty good season from the Raptors, winning 48 games. I haven't really, as you guys saw, I didn't make any trades, nothing. This is just what would 2K think that the Raptors would do next season if nothing happens. But we are playing the Pistons in the first round. Here are the stats on the season. Let's see what happens. So in the first round, we're up 3-1 on the Pistons, and we're looking to close this series out. They do win another game, but we are going to win in 6 games. Reggie Jackson, 16 points. Kyle Lowry, a nice 26 from him. And surprisingly, in the second round, we're up 3-0 on the 76ers, which I did not expect at all. But they did win 2 games, so we do win in 6 games again. Dario Saric, a nice game for them. Kawhi Leonard, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Conference finals against the Milwaukee Bucks. We're up 3-1, and they win. There's going to be a game 7 here. Let's see if we can take Milwaukee down in 7 games. It looks like we are going to win. Kawhi Leonard with the big game. 35 and 17 from him. 4 assists as well. Brogdon was their leading scorer. Giannis really had a good series. We are playing Golden State in the finals, so I don't expect to win here, but we do win game 1. They win game 2. They win game 3. 2-2 series. They win game 6 and they win game 7, so they win in 6 games. Kawhi Leonard, 18 points in the final game. Steph Curry, 30. Cousins, 22 and 10. So as I said before, we're going into a full rebuild since most likely Kawhi Leonard is not going to re-sign in Toronto. We're going to give Kyle Lowry to the Suns, who need a point guard for a 1-year deal, which is not too bad. And TJ Warren, we're going to get back. Brandon Knight, they'll clear up some cap space in Phoenix. And we're going to be trading Serge Ibaka to the 76ers, who need a power forward because Ben Simmons is more of a point guard for them. And they're going to be giving us a nice young prospect and a first-round pick. With the 15th pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, we are going to be getting Jalen Hands out of UCLA. We got that pick from Phoenix. And 2 picks later, with 17th pick, we are going to be taking Chris Wilkes, also from UCLA. And as I said, we're going to renounce the rights on Kawhi Leonard. He'll become an unrestricted free agent. So for the season, I actually signed Valanciunas to like $30 million a year, but I edited his contract because that's not realistic. Toronto would not give a center $30 million a year. And I'm going to be trading Fred VanVleet to the Mavericks for Norman Powell. Actually, Dwight Powell, my bad. We just needed a big man off the bench, and we had too many point guards, so VanVleet had to go. Let's see what happens in the next season. So Giannis is going to win MVP for the Milwaukee Bucks. Javon Quinterly for the Magic Rookie of the Year. Schroeder, 6th man. Pascal Siakam, actually most improved. He did start for us, averaging 10 points, 6 rebounds. Mike D'Antoni, Coach of the Year. Let's see if anyone made an All-NBA team. I doubt it. An interesting fact, Kawhi Leonard actually signed with the Pacers. So the team that drafted him and traded to the Spurs, he signed back with them. I don't think that'll happen in real life, but I didn't want to put him on the Lakers. I wanted to just make him an unrestricted free agent. But as you guys saw, we did have a really bad season, so we'll have probably a top 5 pick. Here are the stats on the season. Jalen Hans had a pretty good rookie year, and Anunoby also a pretty good year. But yeah, let's see what happens in these playoffs. I would imagine the Warriors are going to repeat, but let's also see what happens with the Pacers. Pacers in the finals, so Kawhi loses again in the finals. So we're projected the number 3 pick in the draft. Let's see if we get lucky. We do go up to 2. And with the 2nd pick in the draft, we're going to take Brian Antoine out of Rutgers. He's a pretty high overall, so he'll be ready to start for us at shooting guard, which is something that we needed. So for this season, we've got Jonas Valanciunas on about $14 million a year. Anunoby, TJ Warren, Jalen Hans, DeLon Wright, Antoine, Chris Wilkes, Siakam. Here's the rotation. I don't expect to make the playoffs, but we'll see what happens. So Giannis wins MVP again for the Milwaukee Bucks. Cole Anthony, Rookie of the Year. Gordon Hayward, 6th man. Donovan Mitchell, most improved. And Otis Newman for the Suns, Coach of the Year. Let's see if anyone made an All-NBA team or a defensive team. It looks like they did not. But surprisingly, we made it into the playoffs barely. Winning 42 games, going 42-40. So we'll be playing the 1 seed, who is the Washington Wizards, surprisingly. So we'll be playing the Wizards. Not too bad. Jalen Hans a pretty good year. Antoine again another good year. So pretty competitive series here. We're down 3-2 to the Wizards. Let's see if we can force a game 7 in Washington. We're in Toronto right now, but we don't force a game 7. Jalen Hans only 15 points. This was a very low scoring game for us. So Washington just got the better of us. Otto Porter 20 points. Bradley Beal 18. John Wall 14. Let's see what happens in the playoffs. Warriors should be back in the finals, and they are. They beat the Hornets. So here I'm going to be making a trade for Blake Griffin. We're going to be giving them TJ Warren, who's only on a 1-year deal, and the 15th pick and a 2nd round pick for Blake Griffin, who's getting paid $35 million a year for 3 years. As you can see, they're paying Elfrid Payton $20 million. They need to clear up some cap space and get younger. So in free agency, we have a lot of money, so we're going to just throw a bunch of money at some free agents like Malcolm Brogdon and Thon Maker, who for some reason doesn't want to come here at all. So, I mean, it's Toronto. What do you expect? But Frank, we're going to throw a lot of money as well and see if we can get one of those guys to come over here. Getting paid a lot of money, but so I was able to pick up Malcolm Brogdon to play for us, probably off the bench. So we got Blake Griffin, Valanciunas, Brogdon, and Anunoby, Jalen Hans, Antoine, Chris Wilkes, Shamit, Siakam. This is a very good team. All around, it's going to be very solid. So we should definitely make the playoffs, but let's see what happens. So Lonzo Ball wins MVP for the Lakers. Washburn, Rookie of the Year, Nazir Little, 6th man. Logan Schmidt for the Hornets, Coach of the Year. Let's see if anyone made an All-NBA team. No one made an All-NBA team. That's surprising, but we were the 2nd seed, winning 56 games. So, pretty good season. As I said, this is a very solid team with Blake Griffin now and Malcolm Brogdon coming off the bench. We'll be playing the Miami Heat, who still have Whiteside. They've got a bunch of young guys, so should be a competitive series, but Jalen Hands a nice 18 points per game. Blake Griffin also doing pretty good, 17 points per game. Let's see what happens in the playoffs. So again, 2K decides to screw us, and we're down 3-0 to the 7th-seeded Miami Heat. I mean, it's very possible to come back 3-0, but we should not be in this position. I mean, if we're going to lose, at least make it competitive, but we are going to win here in this game. We have a way better team overall-wise, but I don't know what's wrong with 2K, so let's see if we can force a Game 6. Or if we're going to lose here in 5 games. And it looks like we are going to force a Game 6, most likely. We do force a Game 6, so Antoine has 21 points. Jalen Hands, good amount of production from him. Javonte Smart had 27 for them. Cole Anthony for them is averaging like 26 points in the first round. So I don't know why their young guys are such beasts, but... And we're really down by a lot here. I'm going to hop in to get some gameplay, but this game's probably over. So there's no way I'm coming back in this. I'm just going to try to get some buckets here. Get a little bit of gameplay for you guys with Jalen Hands. We go right to the rack. Oh my god. If you guys don't know, Jalen Hands is a beast. He didn't have that much of a good season for UCLA this year, which was his freshman year, but watch out for Jalen Hands next year as a sophomore. Whiteside in the post, he misses, gets the rebound, and we foul him for no reason. Okay, that makes sense. But I'm just gonna give my opinion on the Spurs-Raptors trade that went down. I think the Spurs won that trade for sure. Like, unless if Kawhi Leonard signs a max contract with Toronto, then obviously in hindsight, Toronto is going to win that trade. But I don't see that happening. I think there's like a 95% chance that Kawhi doesn't re-sign in Toronto. So obviously the Spurs are going to win that trade. They were looking at getting maybe Kuzma and some picks back, or like people weren't even going to give them Markelle Fultz or Jaylen Brown in trade talks. So to get DeMar DeRozan and a nice young center back for Kawhi, that's like probably one of the best things that could have happened to the Spurs. They're going to remain competitive, and they also got a first-round pick. So, I mean, it's going to be nice in San Antonio. And, I mean, it's not all that bad for Toronto if Kawhi leaves, because you start your rebuild. You're probably going to trade Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka. You get to start fresh, and who knows, maybe you can find some good players in the draft, start tanking, maybe follow Phillies, trust the process thing. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what Kawhi does to evaluate who actually won the trade. But as I said, and this guy, Cole Anthony, somehow is a beast, dropped 40 on us. He had 40 points on 18 shots. No wonder we lost. Anunoby for 3? Oh my god, that's cash. So here are the stats for the game. Valanciunas, 21 points, 12 rebounds. Anunoby had 14. Jalen Hands only had 13 points, so that's probably why we lost. And this guy, who's only 21, had 40 points. He's averaging 25 points in the playoffs, 8 assists. I don't know why he's such a beast, but he is. And let me show you guys this team in full depth. So I can't even understand how we lost and we were down 3-0. Like, our team is 10 times better than this team. At least 5 times better, but 2K is just going to finesse us every time, and somehow the Hornets are going to get to the finals. So that's going to do it for this rebuild. Let me know what you guys thought of this team. Let me know if you guys thought it was realistic enough, Let me know if you guys think Kawhi is going to re-sign in Toronto or not. Also, let me know what other teams I should do next. Also, comment any ideas you guys have for videos, and make sure to subscribe for more videos as well.
The swag.